What's going on, guys? PC here, and welcome to my work-in-progress translation of Rune Jade on the Dreamcast. Now, if you don't know what this game is, it's an online RPG dungeon crawler, very similar to Diablo, and this was actually the very first online RPG on the Dreamcast. It actually came out before Phantasy Star Online, and I've always wanted a translation of this game because it's a very solid RPG, and it's just kind of hard to navigate if you do not speak Japanese. So I took it upon myself to try and translate this game. I was actually inspired by a guy named Animated AF, who you may know as the guy who's done a lot of artwork for this channel. He recently translated an obscure Japanese life simulator game for the Dreamcast, and he had never done a translation before, and that really inspired me to try and do this. I've actually tried to, or attempted kind of casually to translate Rune Jade in the past, but all I really was able to do was the main menu, where it says Start and Web here, which I have done here, but I've gotten a lot farther on my second attempt than I did initially, and I'm really happy with the progress I've made so far, and I'm actually going to show you guys what I've been able to do so far. So let's just jump right into this. Obviously we got Start and we got a website option. We're going to start and jump right in. I have not translated any of the dialogue in the game, and most of these boxes here, but I have translated the yes or no options on all of the dialogues, so you can say yes or no to all of this stuff, even if you don't know what you're saying yes or no to, but there you go. But yeah, that's just basically this is a screen telling you you don't have enough VMU blocks, so proceed without saving. So I've translated all of this, the stat screen, the character select screen. This was all actually just texture images that I needed to basically Photoshop and swap out all of the Japanese text for English text. The only thing I have not done here is the character name, which is below the character picture and below level on the left side of the screen there. Those are a little bit different because they're variable, but I will do those at some point. But let's just select a character here and confirm, and jump right into the game here. I've actually been having a lot of fun doing this, and translating the game is not quite as tedious as I thought it would be. I mean, it kind of is tedious, but it's also very fun and very satisfying at the same time. It's very cool to go in and change a few things and then boot up the game and see those changes take effect in the game itself. It's very, very cool to see. But anyway, in the game itself, I have translated the pause menu. So you have send chat, quick chat, messaging, return to camp, chat room. A lot of this stuff is online only options, that's why it's mostly disabled. There's endgame, there is map and key type. Those were already English for whatever reason, so that was easy enough. Timeouts, which is the amount of time it will take for the game to automatically disconnect if you're online and you're not pressing any buttons. And there's return to game as well. So that's all pretty much done except for one thing here, which is return to city. That's a variable line of text that changes depending on what city you're in, so it's a little bit more work than the rest of the options, but I will translate that eventually. So also here, I've translated the stat screen you already saw. That's actually the same screen as was on the character select screen initially. But on the right side you have the items and equipment screen, which is all translated. So as you can see, a lot of these items are translated, the items that you get initially in the game, but I have definitely not done all of the items in the game, but I just wanted to translate these at least so I could show you guys kind of the progress that I've made and show you that I have actually figured out how to translate the items in the game. But I have translated a little bit of the descriptions as well, so you can see for the dagger here, it's attack power 8, and for the cape it's defense 10. It also says none there, which to the left of that, Japanese characters there say requirements. I did translate that at one point, but it broke things, so I needed to change it back, but I will get to that eventually. I've translated these, gold. I don't really get these because you have money on the left side of the screen. As you can see, I have 300 money, but these are separate, so I don't know why you have just a random gold 1000 and gold 10,000 in your inventory when you start the game. I don't know if that's maybe storyline related, I'm not really sure, but it's translated anyway. Also, Life Dew, which is like a life potion. For some reason, potion is translated as dew. I don't know if that's on purpose or if that's just some weird translation thing, but yeah, I translated that, and also says HP plus in the description, which I figured is self-explanatory. Translated the use and drop options over here. And here's the equipment screen. I've translated all this, so you got head, body, right hand, left hand, and 2 rings. And this is a quick select menu, so you can pick items or magic spells that you want to be available from your quick select menu, which I will show you in a second here. Let me add a few things to it. So I have 2 life dews, let's add that there. Magic dew, which I could not fit magic dew. Unfortunately, English text takes up more space generally than Japanese characters, so I have to kind of shorten some things. But I mean, you get the idea. Magi dew. There's also warp dew, which is a potion that allows you to transport yourself back to the base camp. As you can see, the description for that has been translated. So we'll add that. I have not translated this part yet, so even though it's translated here, warp dew, it's not translated here. So that's something I need to do. But let's back out of here, and as you can see on the bottom right there, there is your quick select menu, and all of this has been translated. This is supposed to say warp potion, but for some reason it's warpass. That's what I got initially for my translation of the word, but I ended up changing it later because it makes more sense to be warp, because I didn't know what it was initially. But now that I actually know what it is, warp potion makes more sense than warp pass. So I will change that back at some point. But there you go, there's the quick select menu. So there are a few more things I've translated. As I said, I have not translated any of the dialogue in the game, so all of that is still in Japanese. But there are a couple more things that I will show you here as soon as I can get into a dungeon. So this guy is kind of like the principal in PSO. You gotta go talk to him before you start quests. But yeah, you kind of have to go back and forth a few times between this guy and the principal, or whatever his name is. This is another thing I translated, so when you pick up an item, it will say, see, in this case, spell card taken. So that's in English now. And spell card, not much in the description has been translated there. You got MP and HP. Some of that was in English, the MP and HP, but some of it I had to translate. Japanese games are weird sometimes. Some things are in English and some things are in Japanese. With this game, the majority is in Japanese. But, oh, that's right too, I need to talk to this guy again. This guy gives me the magic card, and then I need to pick it up and then talk to him again. And then talk to this guy again. And eventually, this lady here, who is the quest lady, she will actually let you go on a quest. Which should be now. There we go. Alright, so here's the mission list. I did translate mission list at the top of the screen there, and also I translated the first mission, which is Demon Cave. It's not centered up there, but there's really nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. But at least it's in English, so I'd rather have English uncentered text than Japanese centered text. But you kind of have to work within the limitations that you have, and a lot of the time you have a very small area that you can fit text into, so again, I have to kind of shorten some things or completely change the text in some cases. But the other thing I translated here is the floor number on the top left of the screen there, so it says floor 0. Every time you go into a dungeon and change floors, it will change, so it says floor 1 now. But that's pretty much it. That's all of the progress I've made so far. This was probably about a week of work. Just kind of slowly, whenever I have some spare time, I'll translate a few things. It's definitely a slow process. It's not going to be done anytime soon, most likely. But yeah, I'm making progress, and I'm very happy with the progress I have made so far in this game. At some point I will likely release the game, the translated version of the game, unfinished, so that people can actually test it out and let me know if there are any bugs or if there are any weird translation problems that I need to fix. But that probably won't be for a while. I want to at least attempt to translate all of the item names in the game before I release it. And once I do that, yeah, so you guys can actually test it. But anyway, guys, that is gonna be it for this video. Again, very happy with what I've done so far in this, and hopefully I'll be able to release it to you guys soon so you can try it out. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.